Alright guys, we have the new SP battle versus Mahito, so I'll be showing you guys how to get 24 points so you can get all of the reward for S rank. Now, quick note on all of the debuff first of all. I don't know why there's a bug this time around because normally we should have a maximum of 30 points. However, this time around, even if I take everything, I can only find maximum 27 points. So I'm not sure whether I'm actually missing something because normally we should also have an option of getting a few extra points by playing only R or SR unit or not playing Gojo, etc. But I don't see anything like that this time around. So I don't know whether that's a bug or genuinely the maximum is now capped to 27 points. But either way, that is the way it is right now. So in order to actually get all of the rewards, you need to get 24 points. So the only one you're going to untech is going to be this max HP one, okay? Now, something else also on the debuff one, just to show you guys, because that will explain my strategy, which is that one of the debuff will be decreasing curse technique damage taken by 120%. And that basically means for this stage, you pretty much want to use a physical attacker. Now, Red Yuji and Toji will both work. I just use Yuji because he used to be the only one from Standard Banner, but I know everyone can actually summon for Toji now as well in Standard Banner. But in both the strategy I'm going to show you, both the free-to-play and pay-to-win, it's going to be using Red Yuji instead. And just to show you the skills, it's not super highly leveled up either. His ult is only level 8 and his skills 3, which is the other one I mainly use, is at level 9. But then all of my buffers, they are completely maxed out in terms of their skills. But it should be fine. You should be able to do at lower level. And my Yuji doesn't have his potential unlocked either. The only thing I unlocked on his potential is not actually the attacking stats. It's actually for a few extra curse energy, which you don't actually need this time around anyway. So you can ignore any potentials on Yuji as well, okay? Now, in terms of strategy, so basically the pay-to-win one is going to feature Domain Gojo, and I call it pay-to-win because it's a limited character, even though I do feel like vast majority of us probably do have it. But then the free-to-play one, if you don't have Domain Gojo, obviously the best replacement would be Domain Megumi, and you will also be using Momo in here instead for a bit of extra firepower. Now, the pay-to-win strategy with Domain Gojo is going to be very straightforward. Basically, you just rush to charge ult by turn 3, and the reason why you want to do on turn 3 is you want to use your domain expansion before the two side mobs can actually use their attack, because one of the debuff you have chosen is if they actually use their special attack, then the enemy is going to be immune to debuff, etc., which is then going to be very annoying for your Domain Gojo's ultimate. So that's kind of why you want to rush your ult to do domain expansion on turn 3, and when you're doing that, your Yuji should have charged up his ult fast enough also on turn 3 so that he can kill off one of the side mob with his ultimate attack, but you don't want to use the recollection, you will save that for later. And then whilst you kill off the first mob, you then start working on your second mob with the normal attack from your Domain Gojo and also skill 3 from Yuji. And because the enemy is in that massive domain expansion debuff, you should be able to kill off that mob in the next 2 turns as well. And then on the very last turn, while domain expansion is still available, you would then use your ultimate attack from your Red Yuji to kill off the boss. So that's kind of why this strategy is very, very straightforward, and there's pretty much no RNG involved at all. And also you don't need a backup unit here, okay? Now on the other hand, free-to-play strategy is going to be quite RNG heavy for 2 reasons. One is that you actually need to hit a stun with your Domain Megumi just to buy yourself a few extra debuff, etc. From his domain expansion. So that's one RNG aspect. And then the RNG aspect is that you actually need one of your unit to die fairly early on. I would say probably turn 3 or turn 4 ideally, so that your Domain Megumi can actually come onto the field to start charging up his ult. And the reason is, like I said, you actually want to hit your stun at the right timing. And if you take too long to charge up your ult, then that is not actually going to work. And the reason why you need to be very exact with the timing of your stuns is because whilst the enemy have either of the 2 side mobs still alive, he's going to get 99% damage reduction. So the thing is, you actually need to kill off the 2 side mob before you start attacking the boss. However, if you actually kill off both of the side mobs, what's going to happen is Mahito will just summon them back up again in around normally 2 or 3 turns. So you have to be very exact with the timing, and that's kind of why I say having a stun just before Mahito is about to resurrect his minions is actually going to be very, very useful. So that's going to be a core part of the free-to-play strategy, and that's what makes it very RNG heavy. Now, one thing I have noticed which does help is that sometimes you can actually buy yourself a few extra turns by not actually killing off the mob too quickly. So if you're Yuji, let's say, just meant to hit a lot of crit and just happens to be doing too much to the enemy, and you would definitely know that your domain expansion would not be ready in time after you kill off the mob, then what you can actually do is just start switching up and actually attacking Mahito instead of the minion. Now, you won't actually be doing any damage because Mahito have that massive damage reduction, but it will at least make sure the side mob is still alive and therefore delaying the timing of when you can actually release your domain expansion to stun the boss, etc. So that's something I found also to be very helpful.
へえ、面白そうだね。
最善の一手を突っ込め。
やっちゃっていいの？行くか。
では教育の時間だ。
防げ。術式順天。あ、今だ。領域展開。自閉円頓か。おじゃだ。
最
おかか手加減は行くか。
では教育の時間だ。
術式順天。あ、今だ。おじゃ。
相手の
避け避け。それじゃお行け。
授業を始めよう。
ねじよ。領域展開。無料空示。とどめ。ユージ、任せてよ。
さて、準備はいいか？
避け避け。手加減は行くか。
行くぞ、総力点だ。これで払い切る。
はぜろ。
行くぞ。
避け。まだまだ、今だ。
相手の動き
勘弁。やっちゃっていいの？よし。
では教育の時間だ。
まだまだ、決まる。
最善の一
勘弁。やっちゃっていいの？いけ。
では教育の時間だ。
邪魔だよ。はあ、とどめ。手加減。動けんね、俺。へえ、面白そうだね。
最善の一手を常に
可愛く叩き直す。
片付けます。よし。
授業を始めよう。
大体分かったわよ。
決まっていきましょう。今だ。領域展開。自閉円頓か。おね。
舐められるの？
これはいけませんね。よし。
授業を始めよう。
待ってて。
ここが踏ん張りどころ。おね。
最善。
可愛く叩き。
手早くします。いけ。
では教育の時間だ。
ここが踏ん張りどころです。とどめ。
変な格好。
これはいけ。よし。
では教育の時間だ。
決まっていきましょう。今だ。おね。あとは任せろ。いくぞ。これはいけます。よし。おね。おね。
最善の一手を常に考えろ。
いくぞ。さて行きますよ。よし。
授業を始めよう。
決まっていきましょう。決まる。おね。
さて準備はいい？
いくぞ。さて行きますよ。いけ。
行くぞ、総力点だ。これで払い切る。
対象の7対3の点を逆転にする。私からは以上です。
行くぞ、
今です。決まる。おね。
最善の一手を常に考え。
いつでもいけぞ。片付けます。いけ。
では教育の時間だ。
決まっていきましょう。領域展開。もう上げて。とどめ。急ぎ任せろ。
相手の
やるか。手早くする。行くか。
授業を始めよう。
ここが踏ん張りどころ。今ならこれが。動けんね、俺。